Welcome back to Chocolate Espresso Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas. New era, flush or fancy. I wouldn't take offense to either or. Now, you go outside the lines, that's a whole nother story. We got our regular Americanos. You know, we like Espressos out here. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we got Alizé.
Alizé in the building. Say, what's up?
King Des.
King Des, serial entrepreneur. What's up?
We got the world's favorite Angel.
Yeah.
All right, that was good enough. So listen, y'all, we back here again.
If you love me conditionally, just say that.
I'm gonna start saying that to people.
Yo, it's Tanaja, Leo, or TJ, whichever you want to call me.
Listen, y'all, I got one more question for y'all. Y'all not gonna like it. Oh, snap. Y'all gonna hate this one. Nah, I'm playing with y'all. Everybody's gonna like this one. Serious question. What are we doing today that we're not doing anymore when it comes to dating?
What are we doing today that we're not doing anymore?
What are we not doing today that we were doing before?
Okay.
Taking it seriously.
Everything.
Taking it seriously.
Everything.
Wow. Look, the girls are so quick to be like, ain't nobody doing nothing no more. What y'all mean?
Everything.
Elaborate.
I mean, everything.
Elaborate. Something. Give me one thing.
Talking. Communicating.
Communicating really is the top of the list.
Let's not pretend like
you know what? I want to co-sign. I'm gonna say honest communication.
What y'all think? Hold on. Y'all really think that they had it better 30 years ago?
Yeah. Okay. No.
At least the dating process.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Dating process. Yes, but after they dated and got married, I'm watching these videos, and even when my mom told me about back in the day,
There used to be some savages back in the day.
I promise you, like, what you mean you didn't sit here and had a baby by that girl, and now she got her baby got to come and move in with us? What?
And they would do it. It wasn't like this was just an argument. Like it was actually.
It's like back in the day they was sharing a man and it was cool.
I mean,
what's different from then than today?
Today the girls ain't really fighting back. The girls are fighting back.
Girls are fighting back.
A little bit. Some of them. I'm saying some of them.
It's people going out sleeping with other
married people
while they are pregnant.
While they're pregnant and married.
Let's not talk about the sheer amount of people today that know that this person is in a current relationship and they don't care.
They don't care.
And still messing around.
Did
y'all not see that one podcast where the girl got so mad? And again, I like to think everything is staged because I just don't want to believe that this is really the state we're in. But y'all didn't see that video?
No.
Where they were like, when she's like, oh, he was married and I was fooling around with her, but that's not my problem. If he wasn't taking care of his wife or whatever. And then she starts getting mad, like more mad because the host of the podcast was like,
you're wild.
Like he's trying to hold her accountable. Like you should have never done that.
Like, yeah.
Like, are you mad at him or are you mad at yourself for knowing what you were doing was wrong? But that also goes into the whole thing of
people being delusional. No.
Checking
yes, people being delusional. I also like to think that it plays into the role of you can't expect anyone else to respect your relationship. No one else has the obligation to respect you. The moral standing to do so, but the actual expectation doesn't exist.
I don't think that has anything. I mean, it's like maybe 15% to do with respecting the other person's relationship. It more so has anything to do with respecting yourself, self-respect.
Yeah.
No self-respecting person would knowingly go out and sleep with someone else's husband or someone else's wife.
Be a home wrecker.
Not knowingly.
Like
she said.
Knowingly is wild. Knowingly is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
But they were doing that back then.
Actually,
it was crazy then. It's crazy now.
It's crazy then. It's crazy now. I think the problem that I'm having with it is now people are using, like we had this conversation. Check our other podcasts about consequences and accountability. Like adults are choosing to wild out and they're choosing like this and like. It's crazy because it's not happening like just in our community. Like it's not an intelligence thing. Like lawyers, wives, husbands, doctors. Everybody is just buck wild right now. Like on impulse. Like I have people there's been so much justification for cheating in this generation. in comparison to others. Like others, they're like, dang, it was wrong. I tried to keep it on the low. Now it's like, you didn't satisfy me.
Blatantly.
Your fault. Like literally, like that's an argument for a 30-plus-year-old
and plus
married
people
woman.
act like they have no control over their bodies.
Like they can't keep it in their pants. Like,
I just fell on it.
like it's like literally.
You did what now?
Like it's crazy. It's crazy. People literally are like, I feel like switching up, so I did.
It's okay, and that's just fine. And when I feel like the 27, my personality say, okay.
Yeah, you need holy water. 27.
They say they see angels around people. I seen like something red step up in the background.
It's it's giving a little legion like.
So
it's giving a little.
Okay. Well, despite what some people think, or a lot of people think, really. There was a clip from Kevin Samuels where a lady came in and called and she was like, I stepped out and she wanted, I can't remember the actual premise, but she was telling him like something about her stepping out of her marriage. And he was like, keep that to yourself. You live with the guilt. Don't push that on me. Don't tell me. Don't you feel what you feel. You can feel that on your own and work through it. But if I was married to you for 30 years and you want to now all of a sudden have a conscience and it's tearing your gut apart, why are you telling me now? Mm-hmm. Why are you telling me now? Keep it to yourself and work through that. And you better continue to be the best person you were prior to you having a conscience. I don't want any inkling that you did what you did. Now, me personally, you better tell me. You got issues, you can tell me beforehand. What did mom say? What did mom say? There ain't no divorce in this.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom told my dad that there ain't no divorce.
There ain't no divorce. Nah.
They're just 6 feet under.
For real?
Full stop.
There's no divorce. They're 6 feet under.
You know what? That's holding you accountable because you did say till death do us part. Mm-hmm.
But
I'm not saying I'm condoning any harm to anybody.
No, that's not violence or threat.
No. You said
till death do us part. If that's violence, then till death do us part was violence too.
Right. You make a violent claim legally.
And nobody said that it was your
holy
death.
Matrimony.
At my hand.
Look here. Like I said, he said, I just stopped because people in my head said we incriminating each other.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But you know what though?
Y'all make sure y'all praying for Alizé, please.
But you know what? Another thing too though, like she said it in the other episode. Check out the Americanos playlist. Anyway, it's the courting. It's the actual like taking the time to show like, and it, you know what though? I want to go in a little deeper on this one real quick though. I think a lot of young men today, right? There's three major issues. They don't know how to court. It doesn't really exist. Their fathers weren't in their home. And again, I have a very controversial view on that. I'm going to say it again anyway, because the first season is going to be the foundation of this. But I think it's if you're the one who's taking 9 months, you're the one that's risking your life. You have to do everything in your power to make sure that you're with the right person. Right? Before you make the decision to be in the bed with the person, you got to make sure you're with the right person. Now, anyone can sit here and say, okay, well, this person lied to me. Okay, then take enough time. Don't fool around with anybody. Don't give a man the impression that, okay, well, your last didn't have to wait that long. The last didn't get nothing. And you ain't going to get nothing until we get to a certain point. This is why I say take the time on both sides. Men, the same thing. She could be after your money. She could be after your family and all sorts of stuff. It doesn't matter. So if you took the time and you did everything right, you spoke with them, you're hanging out with them, the consequences there, the accountability is there, the love is there, right? And you with this person for a long time. I forgot where I was going with this.
Take two.
Listen, Lindas. Listen.
See, you still forget.
Listen, Lindas.
Now he's stalling. Stalling to remember.
Listen, Lindas. When you're with the right person and that person is actually in the household, your children will learn how to do the right thing because you would have shown them every day they wake up, food's on the table, father's coming up there, say, hey, mom made breakfast. Let's go get food. And then they see the loving family, the mother and the father. That child is going to know what to expect when they want to be in a relationship with somebody else.
Same actions.
They got a loving home. When you don't have that, the child has to learn to want that.
Or learn what it is.
The problem is children today don't care.
And,
they don't care to learn.
And think about
They
their
really
influences, where they're learning it from.
Exactly.
Because
Internet?
that's the
Movies?
Yeah.
Baby, please don't.
And their friends.
Please don't let it be Blueface or Krishan.
Disney?
Please don't. I'm so sorry.
You said what?
Please don't get your learner from Krishan and Blueface.
Yeah, no.
Just don't.
And
Blueface. Don't take your
don't.
Krishan and
Please
Blueface
don't.
relationship. No.
What about Jada and Will Smith?
Don't do
No,
it either.
them
No,
neither.
no.
No dead role models. No more role models.
Not no role models in here right now.
Oh man, that's real. That's real.
But
though.
I do want to answer my version of the question because she did say communication before. And I will say what we lost is kind of the dynamics of change. And what we need to bring back is not the obsession, but the excessive willingness to love and understand and grow with each other. So like, even though in this generation, I feel like, we have more bolder women. I feel like we have women that are stronger or in better positions than women before. And it's been used to be like, okay, like anti-male energy when the environment should not be that. It should be y'all come up, we come up with y'all. Like y'all, the love songs, there's no more love songs. Like there is
no R&B.
There is like literally there like every R&B song now is heartbreak.
Like it's R&B is pop. Everything is pop.
Sexual and heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
And in the underlying tone of those, it's devalue men or devalue women. Mm-hmm. Like
what happened,
and that's literally the entire.
We became in competition with one another.
Exactly.
When you started competing with each other, there's no love in competition.
Exactly, because you can't
in order love to have somebody that you're trying to one up.
You guys, right? They have to be seen as opposition. They have to be seen as an obstacle for you to conquer. But if you like, man, I love my man so much, I can't wait to love him more. My woman, I love her so much, I can't wait to learn and love more.
And we approach
it at that dynamic, and you approach it with on the one rule, the only rule that makes it easy, like communication. There's only one rule that makes it healthy. I'm giving what I'm asking for. That's it. That's all you need to do, because now you have a right to ask for it. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this.
But they're not putting out.
And if you literally
love, what?
Conditional love without even meeting the conditions yourself. That's the bigger problem, because there's nothing wrong with you having rules.
Well, that's a part of the delusion. That's a part of people dating people. That's a part of this whole dating up culture. And don't get me wrong, you can want to date up. No. But here's the thing: you can want to date up, but how you want to date somebody who washes their and brushes their, but you don't do that on a daily basis. And that's just the simplest form.
Yep.
That's just the simplest form. How you date somebody, how you want somebody that's going to tell you their emotions and their feelings, and you don't know yours.
Right.
How do you want somebody to do? You can't want you. Okay, you can want something and not make it a requirement because you don't have that thing.
Yep.
Right? I can't expect you to talk to me if I don't talk to you. I can't expect you to know how to deal with a situation and a problem if I don't know how to deal with a situation and a problem. I can't expect you to come up with ideas and dates and da-da-da-da if I'm not willing to do the same thing. That is a whole part of the relationship being 100-100.
Exactly. And if you pay attention to social media, and we do have some people that I do respect in our community that are stepping up as men and as women that are like, I'm not with the opposite slander. Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah.
It always boils down to the same conversation. Are you doing what you're asking for? Otherwise, you're looked at as, because in our culture, loyalty and
honesty.
like a credibility is important in our culture. Like, it's one thing for you to say something, it's another thing when you can back it up. You're respected when you can back it up. But if a lot of people are making demands and we're like, you're not backing it up, and the response is, I don't need to back it up, I backed it up for my ex. Like, that's a childish response.
No,
you know what though?
Right, exactly.
Hold on.
That is like, that's a kid's response. That's not an adult who's taking accountability and healed.
Go ahead.
I need to respond to that. So I think that's not. I think it's more complicated. I think relationships are more complicated than that. I think when you do apply roles into a relationship, you can't expect somebody to always do the exact same thing to get something in return. I think when you're with somebody and you acknowledge that they might have some faults, then they could essentially fill the areas that are wrong with you and help you fill that in for yourself and play that role. It really depends on what you're looking for out of a relationship. And I think that there are defined roles that a man needs to fill in a home as well as what a woman needs to fill in a home. Now, that being said, that's talking about a traditional relationship. Right. I don't think a traditional man should be with a modern woman, and nor do I think a modern woman should be with a traditional man. They shouldn't be seeking that thing.
There's
going to be some issues. I think they both need to have enough traditional views and as a foundation for a traditional man to even want to be anywhere near like a modern woman. And it really depends on how modern she is. And those are and I think that's where you're going to have those issues where you're like, okay, well, you're saying, you're asking for this, this, and this, you're not doing any of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of modern women know how to confront a man that is going to share some of his feelings. I think a lot of men, when you hear that phrase, like men aren't emotional, men don't share their feelings, because a lot of women don't know what that feels like to be in the situation where a man is sharing his feelings,
or engaging with the man.
Right.
You know what
it is? And I just saw this video on it the other day. This guy was saying, and he was like, little boys and boys don't share their emotions, but he was like, men share their emotions, men share their feelings, and it's really just all it determines it's determined by how often, or if he continues to share his emotions with you, is determined by your response. Your initial response. What is your response when he?
That's 100% true.
And not only what is your response when he is sharing his emotions, are you even setting the ground? Are you even giving him that space? Are you even, because the thing is, this goes with us talking to each other. This goes with that conversation. If you're not having the conversation, if I don't feel safe,
I'm not going to talk to you or open you up about more vulnerable areas of my life. Because when we're talking about the traditional man, especially, if you go back to the past and ask your moms and your grandmas, their men were emotional. They just had access to it.
My grandma.
They had access to it. So if you're being a traditional man, you're hitting all the points. You're being a provider. You're doing this, you're doing that. Or even if you're not 100%, but you're like, you making progress, you getting there, and you're meeting it, you do develop a type of harder skin. And I've felt this myself as I've taken care of myself to just survive. Your skin just gets harder because it has to. And then when you're like, okay, men don't know how to be soft. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Give me a soft place. Give me a blanket, a pillow to lay my head in your lap and talk to you. And when I come to you, you're the one soft place, because we ain't even got kids yet. You're my one and only soft place. And I go to you and you turn around and use that in an argument, I'm shutting down. Because you are my one ticket out of a cell of hard cold life.
Can we talk about how it's not even about using that against me in an argument, but instead now treating me like a different kind of way because I did give you the opportunity.
That's the other part, using it as ammunition.
Men today don't. Okay, it's hard. It's not hard to say this, but it's really complicated because I think it's going to go over a lot of people's head. When women say women, like we all know women talk, right? Like they're social ones, right? Men are social too. Men talk. We are aware. If you ask us, have you ever heard a grown man talk about why he doesn't share his feelings? I'm sure someone can say yes. Yeah, I've heard it before. We know, right? And it doesn't take much because men. This is where the controversial part comes into play. A lot of young men don't listen to a lot of grown men. However, there are times where we overhear something and it will stick.
Yeah.
We've been in locker rooms. Yeah. We've been in locker rooms. We've been around our father's friends, right?
You'll literally hear something,
we've gone
you'll
to corner
think about
stores.
it for a week.
Same. Corner stores, barbershops, grocery
Locker
stores,
room.
you name it. We may not listen to them, but we hear them, right? And all it takes is one time for some random man to say, I told my wife this. And that comes from that older generation where they had that opportunity where they did get to share. And now she started acting funny, or we got a coworker that talks about it, this and that. Now it's planted in our heads. Okay, so if I do this she's gonna start treating me different.
The thing is, right? The thing is, and I'll take it a step further for what you just said. Yeah, I'll take it a step further for what you just said. He heard someone say it. It was the seed was planted into his head, and what watered that seed was when he went to go do that thing, and the first person did exactly
100%
exactly
did that exact same thing, and then it was like now it's fact because an action
now it's fact.
It's
no longer just a one-off. It's no longer just opinion. It's no longer just like that man's situation. This happens. This is a thing.
This is why it's no longer a thing.
Right.
And now modern times you have Facebook dating, which is a thing apparently. You got Twitter.
You said you didn't know
not
that?
Twitter, Instagram, all that other stuff. It's so much access to so many different people. It's like, why even bother trying to reinvest in this relationship anymore?
And then when you back it up with slander culture, like if you don't deliver and make me feel good, because we were talking about conditional and unconditional love, right? You don't make me feel good. That gives me the right to degrade you, devalue, and jump ship. Not even the respectable, because I know we're not healthy because we're not having the healthy breakups. You know what a healthy breakup is? I don't feel like we're connecting on this level. Let's talk about it.
It's amicable.
Right, it is. And it's like, I'm trying. I know you're trying. I'm not disrespecting your trying. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to work for me. And it's like, dang. And it's like, I know it's dang.
Instead it's go to social media and blast your husband, blast your ex.
Right. Because when you break up amicably and healthily, then you have the conversation where like maybe it might have been out of season or out of time. That's when you get the chances to come back in the future because y'all respected each other's different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? You can't even do that.
A lot of people burn bridges.
You gotta completely annihilate their existence. That is crazy.
You know what's crazy though? I've never been in a breakup and not been able to communicate after the breakup. Okay, can we talk about what happened? Can we talk about this relationship? I've walked away. Everyone I've dated and we walked away from, there was conversations. It was very amicable. It was very like we were adults.
Right.
You know, even though I was, I think, young, even then, it was like we walked away because we recognized at some point, like, okay, there was issues. Time to go.
Right.
You know, and I think that's something you won't get. And I don't know if you've ever really, I don't know if they had that in our parent generations. Oh, no, yeah. But we need to get there again. Like, I think a mass, we need to get to there in masses. But that also goes to what I was saying before, where it's like, I also didn't go on a first date with anybody until I spoke with them for at least a month or two.
Right.
I took my time to actively vet this person. I asked all kinds of crazy questions. She can contest. Wifey will contest. Do you remember any of the weird, wonky questions I asked you?
Bruh.
She's like, she still asks me them to this day.
Thank you very much. Actually, yes. This podcast was centered around those weird questions he would ask. So
straight up. But that's like, but if you're not doing this, and I'm hoping this, like, maybe share this episode seriously, ask weird questions, be in a relationship with them, date them, and maybe you might end up in some weird situations. People don't realize, like, at some point they start showing their true colors.
Yes.
And what you need to do is decide when those true colors, and listen, you got polarized glasses on. Take them off for 2 seconds.
The drunk glasses.
You got the drunk glasses. You got rose colored glasses. You got polarized glasses. You got regular glasses that you thought
the question
weren't regular.
Are you willing to stay once those come off?
Right.
Are you willing to stay? Right. Ask yourself that.
Because those glasses get challenged by the actions that happen over time. Because it's like, person tells you who they are. You meet the representative first. That's what I was always taught. Yep. You will always meet the representative first. And then after that, over time, things will happen, good and bad, because that's life. It happens and you can't control it. It happens. And as you watch this person go through life, that is them going through life. Those are actions taken. They're facts. And so then you look at that person, how they handled when it was angry, upset, when you were wrong, how they valued you, or look at you when you were wrong and you were subject to their judgment, how they acted when they were subject to your judgment and they were wrong. You know what I'm saying? That stuff that shows true characters.
How did they act when they were wrong?
Yes. How they act when they were wrong and how they act when you were wrong.
How do they treat themselves? Like, there's the thing. Mm-hmm. That's the thing right there. That's the moment. How do you treat yourself when this? Are you down talking yourself? Are you downplaying yourself? Are you calling yourself names? Are you trash talking yourself? Because if you trash talking yourself, what are you going to say to me?
Right.
How are you going to treat me?
And that goes to the loving yourself before you love anyone else thing that people need to do before they even start dating.
It is genuinely a scary thought. I've been around people.
If you love yourself, you don't expect other people to love you.
Right. I've been around people who did it wrong and realized they messed up and completely trash talk themselves. And it's a scary thought because coming from a healthy mindset, I'm worried that you might do something to yourself because of it. It's like, it's actually scary when you hear some of these people talk about like them downing themselves from the simple mistake that it's okay. Okay. We're human. We make mistakes. I'm not faulting you for making those mistakes. I'm confronting you with it so you can fix it, right? But if you don't respect yourself enough to just go, okay, I messed up. Let me just put something in place so I no longer continue to make this mistake. Right. And instead, you immediately beeline towards you're hurting yourself mentally with words and stuff. It's scary.
But you know what? Yeah, how they do it. While it is scary. And now I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to be that voice for those people who are watching the podcast or listening to it because, we're on iTunes. So those people who are watching or listening to the podcast and they're just like, dang, they're sinking into their seat because we're talking about them.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
No, listen, right? Because here's the thing, right? If you are in an unhealthy place, because let's just face it, life is life. Mm-hmm. People do people wrong. There's trauma. The word exists for a reason.
Yep.
Hurt people. There are people who are walking around here who are completely and utterly obliterated on the inside. Their emotions are obliterated. They're hurt, right? Let's not pretend that there aren't people who are like that, who aren't going through those things, those emotions, right? I want to tell you, it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
But you do need to get help.
Get help.
You do. And I'm not dogging you. You do need to seek out someone, a professional who can actually sit down with you, talk to you, listen to you, and help you comb through your emotions.
For 2 seconds. Longer than that. It's going to be longer than 2 seconds.
It's going to be longer than that. But
for 2 seconds, though, I want to say we're in a point in our society. This is why I'm like, I have no excuses for anyone born past the year 2000s because you grew up in an era where this culture of seeking help and going to therapy and finding guidance and all that, it's healthy. It's okay. If you ask some of my siblings and anyone past who was born in 92 about therapy, you might get mixed reviews. They'd be like, you crazy. I know grown people 55 and plus, they'll be like, you crazy? Get away from me.
Right.
When I hear the word crazy, I'm talking about the person that's across the street talking to themselves.
Right.
They have no filter. You're crazy. They don't care. You're apparently 23 this year because this was in 2023. So if you were born in the year 2000, I have no excuses. I will not give you any sympathy for coming up with an excuse. You're old enough and able to go and seek help. And I want you to. Everybody wants you to be. We're today in 2023, November 2023. Okay. No one's going to fault you for sitting in someone's chair and getting help. If anything, you're going to get praised from so many people.
Right.
It blows my mind. Sliding scale therapists. You make, I don't know what, $15, $16 an hour. You might be paying $5 to $10 an hour to be sitting in that person. It's really like what, 45 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Come on. And you would spend more on anything other than that.
And they got apps now for that. So even if you want to do counseling and you feel like you can't find the time, you can even look up stuff to do that. And I just want to co-sign, just like you said, even if you don't think you need help. Yes, I'm talking to you and people are always doing you wrong. I want you to also go and get counseling because then you need healing and you need growth to grow past those situations. And for some of you, y'all know that you feel like you could do anything else outside of getting help. I could go to the club this weekend. Yes, you could. And you can end up in another situationship and you can keep it all going again. Stop. Because until the age of 21, you were not an adult. But at the age of 21 and past that, you are responsible for your life. That means all facets of it, from finances, but y'all all like to focus on that. That's just a small part. Your mental and emotional as well is your responsibility. Some of y'all got kids and still ain't got no help. No. And stop teaching them kids to keep doing what you're doing, thinking it's cute. No.
I got two things. I got two things to that. First thing being, I forgot. The second thing, I had it and he kept talking and I lost it. Anyway, I know this. I know the second one, but I think I remember the first. Anyway, I feel like I remember everything now. I remember. I got a good memory.
Good Lord.
Listen.
Let's not interrupt him. Let him keep going.
Might be a little. Some people in this room might
Just
know.
Keep talking.
No, some people in this room might know. This might sound a little hypocritical, but this is why I think I have the right to talk. If you meeting somebody at a club and you starting a relationship, don't expect that relationship to end in a marriage. I'm gonna be real with you. Now that being said,
to end in the club.
Expect it to end up back at a club, or sure. My genuine opinion on starting relationships from a club is basically don't even bother. Like the environment is fun. Like not let me find my wife or husband here.
Right, it's
like
spontaneous.
No bar. Come on, really? No.
How much valuable conversation do you get in with Megan Thee Stallion blowing your ear out in the back?
All right, let's
to be
just
fair.
okay.
To be fair,
right? So we say all that to say, if you aren't healthy, or we say that to say, get healthy, get mentally and emotionally healthy, so that
and if you're already good, get healthier.
Mentally and emotionally healthy relationships, meaningful relationships. No more of the
Yeah.
Stop
no more of the teenager relationship.
Stop with the situationship. Stop with the sliding scale. Stop with the slide in, slide out. Stop with the one nights. Stop with the friends that you're friends and you're actually swapping tongues and swapping saliva and swapping all that other stuff.
This brings me back to
and swapping bodies.
But this brings me back to the other one I was going to say too.
You shouldn't have cut me off. You should have remembered what you said.
I did. Did you cut me off again? No, you made me forget. No, I'm playing. This brings me to what I was going to say, right? And my closing argument on this too, right? Look at you. So
okay.
I think, and this is a controversial view, and I'm laying the foundations, season 1 foundations. Listen, she thinks I forgot. I didn't forget. Listen, as an adult, Y'all heard me say this before. As an adult, you have a adult responsibility, right, to fix your wrongs, to address those issues. You as an adult, you are aware. You know where some of your faults are at. And if you're not actively fixing it, you're not an adult. You're a grown child. People hear the phrase grown boy. Right? Mm-hmm. Women have that for men. Grown girl. You're a grown child pretending to be an adult and you're failing at being an adult. And I know you know this as men and as a woman, because you hear grown adults with children say, I want my child to have a better childhood than me, which means you know what the faults were. And you are actively, at least as a parent, you should be doing everything in your power as a parent to no longer have those faults for your child, and your child not to have those same issues. Right? Same thing that comes with sitting in someone's chair as an adult and getting the help you need to work through it. That's okay. Right? Again, born in the year 2000, January 1st, to me, I will not hear your excuse. I will not hear an explanation as to why you're not sitting in someone's chair and getting the help you need. There is none. There is none. That also being said, the same thing with relationships. I hate the fact that there are older, I'm millennial. Everyone in this room, except for him. King Des ain't a millennial. He's a Gen Z. Calling him out. Everybody basically in this room is a millennial. Yeah.
96.
95?
1996.
96.
Wait, what month?
April.
Oh, everybody in this room is a millennial, okay? So ain't no reason why you should wait. What month? What year were you?
Fuck you.
Oh my
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
What year were you again?
Fab.
Okay. Anyway, what? I don't know. I feel like somebody in this room was a millennial. Anyway. As a millennial, everyone in this room is a millennial. We all can contest that we were at some point told by somebody older or heard it from somebody older, have your fun. Have your cake and eat it too.
Yep.
That was the worst advice that somebody older should have gotten.
That was the worst advice that some of you actually listened to.
Dirty.
Like, have your fun in the sense of being healthy, in the sense of having a good life. Being healthy is fun.
And running around and being able to go on trips and being able to go out and switch your jobs and being able to start a business and learn a skill. They were trying to say, like, explore your options that you do have that my grandma specifically told me this on her deathbed that she did not have when she was our age. So she was like, you have all these things. Y'all have all this internet, all this stuff y'all can do, all this cool stuff. Why would you stay at home? Why would you just sit here and live the same copy and paste life? Go out there and have fun.
Call of Duty is calling.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm talking about the video game. I'm talking about the toilet.
And here's the thing, right?
And then y'all went overboard and then y'all use that as an excuse to be impulsive and unhealthy and just do crazy stuff. It's like, no. That's not what they said. You know what I'm saying? Go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Don't pick up an AK and shoot anybody.
When they say have your fun, I don't think that they was referring to have your fun and sleep around and get STDs. Right. Have your fun and sleep around and don't know who your baby daddy is. I don't think that is what they meant.
Right. Y'all see that?
That's not fun.
Y'all see that video of those two girls that were like, we're going on spring break and and they came back
and they don't know who
they had
baby daddy
clue.
Is.
Like,
wait, what? That's a thing?
It was a thing. Oh my! And it was.
I mean, we ain't judging y'all, but
I'm judging you.
That's just.
I'm judging you and your parents. They failed. I'm no problem calling them. You failed as a young adult, and your parents failed to properly raise you. And this is why I truly think I'm not saying you need to raise children and absolutely, utterly strict rules and stuff like that. I'm saying, when you take the time to actually raise your child, they don't typically end up like those two girls did. Or the men that fool around with them do. That's what I think.
Moral of the story, stop letting TV and social media raise your children.
Don't listen to Jada Pinkett.
Oh, my Lord.
That's not the moral of the story. Moral of the story is...
That's your closing. That's your closer.
No, it wasn't my closer.
Okay, what's your closer?
Why?
Okay, she lost her rights to closer. Go ahead.
So for me, I think the thing that we lost was, like I said, that unconditional, like that love, that healthiness. Be what you're asking for. That's all I'm saying.
What you got? She ain't got none.
Because I agree with everybody at this table.
Oh my gosh.
No, it ain't. Oh my gosh. It's real. One thing, as like you said, you say love unconditionally. Mine is like communication.
Keep that communication.
I'll give you one more shot.
I mean, that is what I was gonna say communication, but I just feel like having a sound mind, having being a sound person and going into it intentionally. You know, going into it intentionally and with the right intention, have a plan, have a goal, have a set, you know? And even if you are just doing it to have fun, do it to have fun responsibly in a certain order, have some structure to it. Like, being in a relationship can be fun. And I think y'all are with people y'all ain't having fun with. And that's the reason why you want to be with him and him.
They having fun. It ain't the right kind of fun.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
They having trauma.
My thing is, I personally, like I said, I'm laying the foundation this season, one of my controversial views. I think a lot of children today, because that's what they are. You're 21 and you're still a child. You don't have the mental, you're not there yet. And I don't, to an extent, I don't want to completely throw the blame at you because you didn't have the foundation from your parents. And I say that parents, I use the word parents because a lot of us didn't have parents, and a lot of us in my community, but it's spreading like wildfire across everybody's community. Yeah. It's in not Minnesota, but in the United States. There are people who come to this country, grow up in this country, and then they lose culture. They lose those foundations of family. So that being said, to an extent, I don't want to blame you too much, but at the same time, it's like you're an adult and you know where you're lacking.
Right.
So I'm a strong believer in you know when you do wrong, you know where you're lacking. And if you don't do the things necessary to do something about it, you're failing. And it's okay to be a failure to an extent, as long as you are actively putting in the work to do better, and then things happen and you're not succeeding. And that's okay, as long as you continue to try.